Hello everybody, it's Michelle, and I wanted to make a video today about seeing things. It's something that I've struggled with in the past, and it's something that I think a lot of people struggle with every day. Am I seeing that? Is that real? How do I see things? Everybody else seems to see things. Why am I not seeing things? Etc., etc. I don't have a lot of specific tips. The best thing that I can tell you is to trust your gut. And I'm going to give you some examples of what happened when I started to learn how to see things, and maybe that'll start to help you. I'm pretty sure that the first time that I knew I was seeing things and it was correct, it was there, it wasn't just my imagination or me making shit up, was I watched a video by Invoking the Balance, who is a personal friend of mine. And I saw two figures in one of her videos. And one specifically was this little tiny blue thing. I didn't know what it was. It's not like I saw an actual figure. I just kept sensing there's something small and blue behind her. What is up with that? So I called her and I asked her, what is it in this video? And I described to her the two entities that I saw, and she confirmed both of those entities and told me exactly who they were because they were very familiar to her. And that was the first time that one of my not visions, but one of the things that I saw was validated by somebody else, and it blew my mind. So I think I talked to her about that a little bit more, and then I decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and start trusting that instinct, because I've thought that I saw a lot of things in the past. So specifically at my own home, I decided to trust my gut because there was something that had been bothering me in my hallway in my basement, which is where my bedroom is. And it's a big open room, and there's a little tiny hallway, and there's a bathroom and a laundry room right across from each other. And I always felt when I was reading at night that there was this little creature, probably 2.5, 3 feet tall, peeking around my corner and just like mischievously looking at me like a voyeur. It was really creepy. And I kept seeing this gangly, goblinish, almost like Dobby, but not. But he would just like look, and he was just like all the time. And he would never come beyond the hallway. I knew that. The other thing that made me believe that this was something that I actually was seeing, and I hadn't told anybody at the time, was that my cats, I have 3, they would sidestep something in the back of my hall right near the bathroom. There'd be nothing there. No clothes, no towels, nothing there. And they would stop, stare, and sidestep this area in my hallway. So I thought, there's got to be something there. That's got to be this thing. So I talked to some people about what I had seen, and they validated what I had seen. Especially my fiance, Jason. He sees things as well. He's not as vocal about it, but when I told him that there was something that was, fucking with me every night before I went to bed, like peeking at me and trying to creep me out, he validated that he was seeing something very similar in that same hallway, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. So that furthered my belief that I'm not just making this shit up, I am actually seeing things. And it's gone on, and these experiences have been validated back and forth, especially when I'm with other people. So if I'm at my mentor's house, one time I had to stay, and I was watching her children, and I slept in one of her rooms, and I saw this woman, a figure of a woman in a big dress, like not like a Victorian dress, but just one of those bigger dresses with the hoop skirts maybe, walking from the entrance into her shop, which is in the front room of her home. And I kept feeling that the room I was in and the front of her house was very, very active. And so the next day when she came back, I asked her, do you have a spirit in this house that looks like this? And are these 2 rooms usually active at these times? Because this is what I felt last night, and this is what I saw. And she said, yes, of course. That's so-and-so, and that's who these people are, and that's what this is. There was another instance at her house again where I was actually taking a class, and Jason was with me, and there were a few other people in the class as well. And all of a sudden, a huge shadow. We saw this huge shadow come across the ceiling in her room where we were having our class, which is the same room where I actually saw the other things as well. And we all saw it. Every single person in the room. My mentor looked at her front door and she just stared for a minute. And she said that her guardian had just taken up post at her door, and so she wanted to be on guard. Now, when you looked out the window, you saw her walkway, you saw her patio, you didn't see anything, but there was definitely a shadow of an enormous figure that went in front of the door because we all saw it. So, all of those things are pretty awesome. Like, when you think you see something, I'm pretty sure you are seeing it. You just need to have a little validation. And I think that the more you see, the more you accept what you're seeing, the more you will see, and the easier it will be to see, because you're not letting your ego and other parts of your mind get to you and say, no, 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 you're making that shit up. Because imagine this right now. Look over there, wherever that is for you, and imagine that you are seeing a little brown puppy playing with a little red ball. Now, I don't know about you, but I can imagine that, and I can see a little puppy rolling around with his tongue out, smiling, looking all cute, but I know there's no puppy there with a ball. However, if I was talking to you and I look over there and holy shit, there's a puppy with a ball, but there's not a puppy with a ball, then maybe I'm actually seeing this, and this is something I need to pay attention to. One example that I'll give credit to Invoking the Balance is she gave the example of her hand. Put your hand in front of your face. Look at your hand. Now close your eyes and take your hand away. Can you still envision your hand there? Can you still see all the details of your hand and what it looked like? Yeah, you can imagine those things. And vision is the same way. Even though my hand is no longer in front of my face, I can still envision that it's there. So I would practice giving into what you think your imagination is seeing. Go with the flow. Accept it. Say it. If you see something, say something. So if you're with your best friend Bob and you're like, Bob, I'm getting a sense that there's like a little red guy over there about this tall. And he's like, yeah, I'm getting the feeling of blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, maybe we're seeing the same thing. That's so cool. That shit cray. So I think that, I don't know if this would help people, but I know that seeing things really, it was hard for me to grasp. It was really hard for me to start to accept what I was seeing. But once I started telling people, it was really great. And I use that ability when I go on paranormal investigations because I'm part of a paranormal team. So if I feel like there's a little girl over there, or if I see a little girl over there, I'm going to tell my team, I'm picking up on a little girl who's got this vibe or whatever. I typically don't see details. I typically see almost like auras of light, or like just a general shape of light. And I get the sensation of happy, angry, mischievous, sad. Maybe I'll get hints of detail here and there, but I don't like flat out see things. So I describe what I'm feeling as with what I'm seeing. And some of that's been validated. Some of it we have nothing. And that's okay. I don't think that just because I saw a little girl and we didn't get anything on our EVPs or on our video that stated little girl, doesn't mean that what I saw wasn't there. So you just have to trust yourself. I'd love to talk more about this. I want to see how other people see as well. So my suggestion is that you make a video response to this video. How do you see? Do you see? And talk about those experiences. Share those experiences. Maybe you don't have anybody that you can say this to in real life. So I would recommend telling it to us. We all love you. We all understand you. So talk to us. We're not going to think you're nuts, okay? And I would also I would also like to be able to make another video about this, answering any questions that I'm able to answer. So if you have any questions, make a video response to this video asking me, write a comment in my in the comment section, or send me a message, and I'd be happy to answer them later. I'm by no means an expert. I don't see everything that everybody else sees, but it's really interesting what you start to get when you start to tell your other witchy or pagan or spiritual friends what you're seeing, because you will be shocked at how often you're validated. But I will say this, if you're with somebody who validates everything you see, I would be wary of them, because not everybody sees the same things in the same detail at the same time. So if you're with someone who's like, yeah, I see it too, I would just be wary of that, because some people might just be followers and trying to be accepted in this whole, oh, I can see, but they really can't. So please be wary of that. Skeptical people are good, are very good to have around, especially when you're dealing with sight. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope to make some more here soon, and I will talk to you all later. I look forward to your video responses. Bye!